Hey, everybody. So we have another eventful week ahead of us. The market's been very up and down and really hard to predict. So, this week is just going to be another big week, in my opinion. There's probably going to be a lot of, big moves coming. Definitely hard to figure out what's going to move big, but, something's definitely going to be moving big this week. We had Amazon with the 15% move for earnings, well, 13.5%. Facebook with like a 25% move for earnings almost. Snapchat with the 58%. Looking at that and looking at how much these stocks are moving for earnings just shows the massive volatility in the market right now. So, there's a lot of money to make if you're on the right side of the market. There's also a lot of money to lose if you're on the wrong side. So, just because you're not making a lot or if you're breaking even or you're making a little, don't be upset that you're not getting a piece of the action because, you could be on the other side and you could be losing, loads and be on the other side of the market, and if you are on the other side of the market, just know that, if you adjust your opinions and positions accordingly, that you can get on the right side of the market. If you're on the wrong side of the market and you continue to be on the wrong side of the market, then, just adjust what you're doing and sooner than later you'll get on the right side of it. So, first of all, we have these huge levels for the QQQ right above and right below. Above we have the 362 resistance and the 200 SMA and the 21 SMA. But in all reality, between like 350 and 370 is kind of just a congestion area, which, we spent the better part of July to almost November, right? Of last year. We spent the vast majority of that time, these several months, in this 350 to 370 box. So, it's totally possible that we spend a little bit of time at least in this area. But thing is, if we break below the 350 or above the 370, that's when we get a definitive trend, right? And so if we break 370, 371, we're just going to rip right to 380 probably. We're definitely going to get a lot of upside right after. And if we don't fail the very next day, then the bulls are in control. And if we do fail the very next day, then that's a sign that, bears could take over. But over that like 371 level is where, we have a high potential for a large move to the upside. And then under 350 is where, we can easily come back down to 343, 340. So, 350 and 370 are the huge levels that I'm watching this week for the QQQ. Pretty clean levels there. So, that's kind of simple for sure. Of course, the 200-day moving average is also very important to see what we do when we head up to it. If we head up to it and find resistance there, we could reverse back down. So that's definitely on watch as well. But right now, it still seems like the bears are in control still. Believe it or not, because even though, we bounced pretty good and we had like some pretty significant volume come in for buying, the volume on the selling is still much higher here. And the volume is what tells you what the market's going to do. And, all of this volume here is very bearish and it's very high. So, these 3 days of selling had higher volume than these 3 days of buying. So, I mean, that's one thing to look for, and like the vast majority of days have been selling. So, I mean, I think a pop to the 200-day could be an opportunity to go short. I mean, I know that's counterintuitive because, they're trying to make you think that the market's bullish, but I really don't think it's bullish. Until we clear that 371 level, I think the bears are in control because you know, you got this move down here, you got the bounce, you got the move down, and then you know, you got the bounce here. And that's basically all that's happened so far is a move down, bounce, and a move down and a bounce. So until we break out above that bounce high here, you know, the bears are in control. So yeah, I'm gonna be watching for continued bearishness, and then you know, over 370 is when I can get bullish again. Yeah, and if you look at this weekly here as well, you can see that the weekly broke down into the 50-day, and it looks like it closed at 358, and the 50 SMA is 359, so it closed right under the 50 SMA. We have this massive volume, so it's trying to hold itself up, but you know, whether it will or not is the question. So the SPY has this same like similar pattern, but it's actually moving down less than the QQQ. It looks like, right? We have this move down, bounce, move down, bounce. Except the SPY is over the 200-day moving average, whereas the QQQ is under it. So one thing to watch for that I think could be helpful is for the SPY and the QQQ to both be underneath the 200-day moving average. And, you know, that would show us that, you know, bears are really in control on this market. So it looks like right now it's kind of like we're kind of squeezing on the daily chart here. We're squeezing between this 50-day moving average and the 200-day. And so, you know, a break over that would be a, you know, bullish breakout to the upside potentially. And then a break below the 200-day could be a bearish breakdown. So the levels I'm watching are 461, or really just 460, but, you know, 461 to 462 for a breakout. And then 440. So very clean levels with SPY I'm watching too that are like the big levels are just 440 and 460. I'm definitely watching for, you know, if this thing comes up to here while the QQQ comes up to the 200-day, you know, they both could get rejected and head lower back down to their supports. So that's something I'll be watching for. And then, you know, if QQQ gets over 370 and SPY over 460, then maybe bulls are in control at that point. But yeah, under 440, we can retest this low. We have this, you know, big demand area below, but you know, we could fail next time because it's tried it, like we've tried to break through that area so many times that maybe, you know, if we do it again, maybe we will break through. But if we break this 440 level, we can definitely retest the 430 to 433 range. The weekly for SPY is also showing that we need to get over that 460 level for the bulls to retake control. The VIX is also at a major support here, so we can watch and see if it bounces. PCL is decently high, the put call ratio. So if this comes down to, like, let's say 0.4 to 0.5 range, you know, it could be a great shorting opportunity in the market, in my opinion, depending on where the indices are. But you know, that's one thing I'll be watching for. So you know, good luck to everybody, and let's make some money.